There is a stage of life that nobody prepares you for. You wake up one morning and realize you have become the person everyone leans on. You are the bridge. On one side, you have your parents, who are getting older and need more help than they used to admit. On the other side, you have your adult children, who are trying to find their footing in a world that feels more expensive and chaotic every day. You are the driver, the cook, the bank, and the emotional rock. You are a pillar, but the problem with being a pillar is that eventually, under enough weight, stone begins to crack. You feel invisible because your own needs have become a footnote in everyone else's story. You aren't living your life anymore. You are managing theirs. 2,000 years ago, a man named Seneca wrote a letter that feels like it was written for you this morning. It's called On the Shortness of Life. Seneca didn't believe that life was too short. He believed that we simply waste most of it by giving it away to people and tasks that don't actually belong to us. He noticed something strange about human beings. He said that if someone tried to steal your land or move into your house without paying, you would fight them. You would call the police. You would protect your property with everything you have. But when it comes to our time, the only thing we can never get back, we let people walk all over it. We let a phone call from a complaining relative steal an hour of our afternoon. We let a stressful news story steal our peace of mind for an entire evening. We are stingy with our money, but we are incredibly wasteful with our lives. If you are feeling overworked in a crowded house, it's likely because you've forgotten that your time is your property. You feel guilty saying no. You feel like being a good person means being an available person. Stoicism challenges that. Being a good person doesn't mean being a doormat. It means being a person of character, and you cannot have a strong character if you are constantly running on empty. Seneca tells us that the busy person is the most miserable person of all, because they are so occupied managing the lives of others that they become a stranger to themselves. So, how do we fix this when we can't just walk away from our families? We use the most powerful tool in the Stoic toolkit, the Dichotomy of Control. Think of it like a line drawn in the sand. On one side are the things you can control. On the other are the things you cannot. You can control your effort. You can control how kindly you speak to your mother. You can control the advice you give your son. But here is the hard truth. You cannot control whether your mother listens to her doctor. You cannot control whether your son actually sends out those resumes today. Most of your exhaustion comes from trying to jump over that line in the sand. You are trying to control the results of your family's lives, rather than just your own actions. When you try to carry their choices on your back, you will break. Today, when you feel that surge of stress, ask yourself, is this my business, or is this the universe's business? If it's not something you can directly change with your own two hands, you have to give yourself permission to stop worrying about it. You can care for them without carrying them. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, lived in a literal palace, but it was probably noisier than your house. People were constantly shouting for his attention. His solution was something he called the inner citadel. He said that you don't need to go to the mountains or the seashore to find peace. You have a place inside your own mind that no one can enter without your permission. It is a quiet room within yourself. When the house gets too loud, when the kids are arguing or the news is blaring, you need to practice retreating into that inner citadel. It's not about ignoring your family. It's about creating a mental space where their noise doesn't touch your soul. Try this today. Find 5 minutes, just 5. Sit in your car before you go into the house, or lock the bathroom door. Don't look at your phone. Just sit and realize that while the world outside is chaotic, the person inside, the you that exists beyond your roles as a parent or a child, is perfectly safe. That quiet space is where your strength comes from. We often tell ourselves that we will be happy once the kids move out, or once our parents are settled. Seneca warns us that this is a dangerous game. He says that waiting until the end of your life to start living is like waiting until a boat is sinking to start learning how to swim. You are in your 50s or 60s. These aren't the waiting years. These are the years where your wisdom is at its peak. Stoics use a practice called memento mori, remembering that our time is limited. It's not meant to be sad. It's meant to be a wake-up call. If today was your last day, would you want to spend it being angry at a cluttered kitchen, or would you want to spend it being the master of your own mind? When you realize that your time is running out, you stop letting small things steal it. You start to appreciate the amor fati, the love of your fate. You realize that even this difficult, crowded stage of life is a gift because it is giving you the chance to practice being a rock for yourself, not just for others. You have spent a lifetime being the foundation for everyone else. It is a noble thing, but a foundation only works if it is solid. Stop asking for permission to be at peace. Stop waiting for the house to be quiet before you decide to be calm. Peace is not something that happens to you when the world stops moving. Peace is something you carry with you into the noise. Be the pillar, but be a pillar that is grounded in its own strength, not one that is held up by the people leaning on it. Go back into your house today, handle the noise, handle the chores, but keep a piece of yourself for yourself. That is the Stoic way. That is how you find peace.